I'm Cassie McKenzie. I'm a sales coach for online service entrepreneurs. And today we're going to talk about why it's totally normal for you to be rebelling against corporate America and rebelling against the 9 to 5 to start making this dream of having your business a reality. Okay. So as it stands today, Salesforce, the company, has just announced even more layoffs. My husband has been laid off since July. I have been laid off 6 times. There's really there's no security, right? Like there's no security in corporate America anymore. And that illusion of the golden handcuffs to me has been like pretty much shattered for a couple decades. And it seems like the rest of the world is starting to catch up to this, especially us who really have a huge vision, the dreamers, the people who really want to, like we want to follow the rules, but we also want to have freedom. And when I first started my business, I really discovered the coaching industry while I was working in my last job as a pharmaceutical sales rep. I used to be a pharmaceutical rep for about 20 years. I started at the age of 21 with braces and a bad haircut, like calling on people who were twice my age, who had been to school for as long as I'd been on earth. And I mean like college. A lot of them had been possibly to college for nearly as long as I had been alive. And so I had to find a different way to sell in order to sell in this really high stakes relationship, not really, I sold with a relationship based approach, but um, in this really high level specialty sales environment where literally it mattered life or death, whether somebody got the product that I was selling. And so now, after being laid off 6 different times in that industry, my husband, between the two of us, we've both been out of a job. I think it was like 7 times in the last 7 years. And eventually you just get to the point that you're like, oh my God, this is stupid. Why do I keep doing this? Well, I was at that position in my last job as I was driving around. I had just had my second baby. She was 3 months old, and it killed me to leave every day. And when I discovered the coaching industry and I discovered that there was a way, like back then, like consultants to me were people who had retired and who were kind of like old and wanted to come in, or they were hired by, they're like management consultants, so like young college kids that would travel and live in a different city for 3 months out of the year or 3 months at a time to do a project at a big company. The concept of like online services and being an entrepreneur was a very new concept to me, even though I'd been in sales for a very long time. And so nowadays, though, it's becoming more and more more and more advantageous to do so, right? Like it's becoming more and more important and exciting and available for people to be able to take the skills that you have right now, package them up and sell them online. And so for a lot of people, the taking the skills and packaging them up is super, super simple, right? You know what you do, you know what your genius zone is, you know what you're doing at work and how great you are at it. And so you can totally be able to pick a niche and take that genius and package it up into a few offers and be able to sell it online. And the sticking point, though, is where the sales process comes in. And well, that's where I come in. But I just wanted really hammer home the point around this is why starting your own business online is not so crazy. And it's totally possible to be able to leave your 9 to 5 and make the money in your business and make more than actually you're being made than you're making in your corporate life, while having the freedom to be able to travel the world and to see your kids grow up and to work remotely, or even just to have that peace of mind that you don't have to worry about logging in the next day and finding out that like you've been let go and you're on the unemployment line yet again. One of the frustrating things for me was always like becoming a master at my job. Like it didn't matter what job I did, I did it well, and I was always like one of the top salespeople regardless of which position I was in. But the thing that was frustrating to me was always having to stop and go to training, right? And there was a girl in my training, Kelly, who had literally been to like the 2 or 3 week training at the home office for a different company every year for 5 years in a row because her job had come to an end. And so I really feel like teaching you how to sell and teaching you how to sell in a way that feels good is so needed, because when you are on your own and when you have your own business, you are the accountant, you are the marketing department, you're the creative, you're the person who makes the product, but you're also the person who sells the product. So instead of relying on this crazy group of like cowboys and cowgirls that go and sell the products and, or, in customer facing, you become the customer facing person. And that means you need to learn how to sell, and you need to learn how to sell in a way that feels good. So I hope to be able to provide this for you in the series of videos. Go ahead and hit subscribe to this YouTube channel and go ahead and check out my podcast. The link is right below so that you can come and learn more about how to sell, how to create your own selling style, how to generate leads in a way that feels good to you and doesn't feel sleazy. I don't believe in any sleaze. I don't believe in any of this like, ooh, these like icky sales tactics or treating people like a number. I really believe in forming relationships and creating connections and starting from a point where you have a little more long-term client relationship instead of like constantly having to bring more people in to make up for the people who are leaving. So again, I'm Cassie McKenzie. Come find me on LinkedIn. I'm at Cassie McKenzie. I'm a sales specialist, a sales coach, and I love to have the opportunity to increase the sales in your business too. Bye.